Hello dear friends, welcome to Shiksha Mantra, and today we begin our class with a story. Yes dear friends, there was a very stout, very strong and a very cruel demon in a forest. One day when a young boy was running through the forest, actually he had lost his way. The demon caught him. And the demon didn't kill the boy. Rather, he fed him well. He also made him very strong and stout. Now he asked the boy to learn different kinds of weapons, to fight well, and the boy also become a great warrior. And now the demon asked the boy to go to the locality and catch one young boy every day for him to eat. So what we have found here, the boy had become an agent for the demon. The task was that of the demon, which was performed by the boy. And this performance of the agent has been shifted to those innocent boys whom he used to catch. And those innocent boys were the recipient of this demonic action. Yes, dear friends, here also we are going to discuss something that has relation with a demon. One works as its agent and the other receives the action and becomes recipient. So how these demons act and how the agent and the recipient are found would find them out from here. And yes, dear friends, here we are talking about agent nouns and recipient nouns. Yes, dear friends, agents nouns and recipient nouns. So what are agent nouns and what are recipient nouns? We have already discussed them here in this story. Yet, for another confirmation, for more clarification, let me tell you what are agent nouns. So actually, when a noun receives an action, it works as an agent. Agent for what? Agent for a verb. Yes, dear friends, this is the most important factor. I have told you now, there's a demon. So here actually the verb is the demon. And when the verb provides some action and it's completed, it's performed by a noun, that noun is agent noun. And when a noun receives that action, it becomes the recipient nouns. So that's how we form nouns from verbs, and some of them becomes agent nouns and some of them becomes recipient nouns. Actually in NCERT books, in NCERT syllabus, in CBSE syllabus, you would find these agent nouns and recipient nouns. So it's very essential for you to learn them properly. And there's another factor that I would like to discuss here for you. Look, dear students, English is such a language. Just you can't imagine how versatile that language is. Any language is versatile. I don't have any grudge for any particular language, for I myself believe, I myself feel it by my heart that each and every language is fertile. It has so very different possibilities regarding uses. Each and every language of this world is equally sweet. But in English, we do one thing. and your language would become very beautiful if you can do it very skillfully, very proficiently, and that is using one parts of speech into others. And you know it, you find it in your questions, do as directed. So when you have been directed to transform one sentence into other, and there the transformation of parts of speech is very frequent. So when we transform parts of speech, so what we do, we actually use one parts of speech into another in the same sentence. The sentence isn't changed, not the meaning as well, only the mode of that particular word is changed. So sometimes we coin noun from verbs. So this is where this learning agent nouns and recipient nouns would come into effect. So sometimes we convert verb into nouns, and there they come. So what is agent noun and what is recipient nouns? Let's discuss it in detail. So first we have what is an agent noun. So let's discuss first what is an agent noun. Look, an agent noun, the first factor, it's the key factor. You have to remember this. Without this, nothing is going to work for you. Okay. First, you have to remember it, that it derives from a verb. So an agent noun is a noun that is derived from a verb. This is the first thing we remember. We have to remember it. And it denotes the person or thing that carries out the action expressed by that verb. You know, a verb expresses an action. What does a verb do? It expresses an action. And when a noun is formed from a verb, with the sense that the noun carries out the action expressed by the verb, we call it agent noun. So the demon had the appetite for young children. So he asked his fostered boy to go there and catch one for him every day. So it was expressed by the demon. It was expressed by the verb. And his fostered child, the boy, carries it out. So he is the agent, and that's what we also call the agent noun. The agent noun does just the same. They carry out the action expressed by the verb. So this is what we call agent noun. But the next factor that's very important, whenever you are learning English grammar, let me say you something, it's very important. Whenever you are learning English grammar, you must remember that for English grammar, you get several formations. We have to form, we have to coin different words and different parts of speeches, different sentences. So formation and position, these two terms are very, very essential for your learning of English grammar. Let me write it down for you, and obviously you have to remember these two things, what I'm saying here. First, I'm saying this word, that is formation. It's very important for your learning of English language. Formation. Whenever you are learning English grammar, you'd face some sorts of formation. These are tips and tricks, dear friends. These are tips and tricks, dear students. Don't miss them out. These are really very, very important. So you get some formation. Formation of what? Formation of verbs. Formation of, sentences. And also there are formation of parts of speech. So there are many others, so on and so on. So formation is a very, very important part for it. And what we do for formation. For words or parts of speech, we use either some prefixes or some suffixes. That's work for formation of verbs, and for formation of sentences we have some sets of rules to follow. And also, beside that term formation, you have another term that is also very, very important for English grammar, and that is position. You have formed a verb from a noun. You have formed a noun from a verb. Now we are to place them in a sentence. So position is another very, very important thing for your learning of English grammar. So today we have got two factors here. First is formation and the second is position. So these two things you have to learn to flourish in English grammar: formation and position. So when we are learning agent nouns, it's our duty to learn the formation, how agent nouns are formed. Without learning the formation, the learning of these English agent nouns, these are also of not use. So what the way we follow in formation of agent nouns? So most agent nouns, just remember this thing I'm talking about, most agent nouns, they ends in either er or or. So these are the two suffixes mostly used for formation of agent nouns. I'm not saying that no other suffixes are used for the formation of agent nouns. Obviously, some other suffixes are also used for the formation of agent nouns. But the uses of er and or, these two suffixes are very common. And there also another factor, another very important factor that you have to remember. Look, when we think of English as a language, just as a language, English has a very close relation with Latin. So whenever you think of English, you learn of English, Latin comes to its way. So when there are some verbs we find in standard English and we have to coin noun from them. So we coin noun from verbs, and these verbs belong to standard English. Most of the time we use here. But if this verb is derived from Latin, there the option is or. Okay? Very simple factor. But at the same time, it's really very, very difficult for you to understand whether this verb is a direct derivative of Latin verbs or for standard English verbs. So there, a dictionary comes to your help. A dictionary is very essential because a dictionary in itself is a complete grammar book. If you want how a dictionary can be a complete grammar book, if you want a class or discussion regarding this, just write it down in the comment section. Obviously, I'm going to share my own opinion regarding use of a dictionary, how to use them and where to use them. What are the key features with which a dictionary must be used? If you really want this, just write them down in the comment, and obviously I'm going to discuss over it. But the factor that we are here now, just look at these examples. Advise. So we have added or. Actually, e is replaced with o. The advisor. This is an agent noun. Wander. Wanderer. Agent noun wanderer. Wander is verb and wanderer is a noun. So wander, look, wander, to roam around, to roam about. And the person who roams about is called wanderer. That means the person is accepting what? Accepting the idea, the action that has been expressed by the verb wander. So this is agent noun. The same thing happens here. Travel, traveler, produce, producer. So all these are one agent nouns formed from verbs. So that's about our learning of agent nouns. But the question arises now, what's about recipient nouns? Yes, agent nouns and recipient nouns, they must be learnt side by side. That's why I have taken these two kinds of nouns together in a single class. So a recipient noun, it also denotes a person or a thing who receives an action. So there, the noun, here also you have to remember these nouns, recipient nouns, these are also coined from a verb. But the problem is, here a person receives the action and there a person or a thing was performing that action. So recipient, it means receives. It's so very simple. So when we have learned of recipient nouns, obviously we have to discuss about their formation, how these recipient nouns are formed, and they are formed like this. They usually accept the suffix ee. They usually accept the suffix ee for the formation of recipient nouns. Now, what does that ee mean? It actually means one to whom and how they come into use. Employ, employee. So, one to whom an employment is placed. Pay, payee, one to whom we have paid. Trust, trustee, one to whom a trust is made. Trustee, so employee, trustee, payee, they are receiving the action, verb. So these nouns, by receiving the action of the verb, has become the recipient nouns. So this is how we may differentiate between agent nouns and recipient nouns. This is how we can form agent nouns and recipient nouns and flourish well in our English language. That's all from the discussion. Today we are returning very soon. Till then, bye bye. Happy learning.